All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We are taking a look at MULN and TRKA. So I normally put MULN in the back because I don't have too many things to say, but there's definitely more today for sure. Look, I'm not super confident just yet, but there's reasons to believe that there could be some good trading, and then there's definitely a moment where it'll get better. From there, I will be honest. I traded TRKA today. I bit off so many of my nails because I threw in a little more than I normally do. But man, it was a beautiful, beautiful hour. I'll ride you through my trade. I have nothing in right now. I sold everything before market ended, so I have no idea and really don't care what after hours looks like. But very cool day for me personally. All right. If you're new, real quick though, before we get into any more details, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages, these horizontal support and resistance lines I do draw manually myself, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms, but hey, even if you don't, just thank you so much for your time and being here. There's a lot of things you could be doing, and I'm glad you're here, all right? And look, I have no crystal ball telling me what tomorrow looks like. I'm for sure not perfect, so look, if your opinions are better than mine, throw them in the comments, all right? I'm not here to hate. I am not here to like insult or whatever, and I'm telling you, we are simply educated people just sharing our opinions, all right? So, yeah, with that, let's get into it. And look, on my last video, which I think was maybe yesterday or the day before, I really don't remember, I do so many of these, but I was bullish on the last video. I was bearish. I was very bearish. My apologies. I was very bearish. I'm still relatively bearish, okay? Because again, my trading strategy is you have to be at the very minimum above the 8 moving average for you to even be a consideration in my book. You definitely need to be above the 8 and the 20 to really be a good stock in my head, all right? This thing has really struggled for obviously a while, and you already know it's in all-time lows. You know I call that a black hole vortex. I'm not trying to talk about that. There are a couple positive things here that are for sure jumping out, and I'll set what I think are very realistic expectations for what could go well if this goes well, okay? So after that, I'll just kind of go back to what I think could be happening if bad things happening. But again, there are positives, and I'm for sure going to start there, okay? So we have not had 2 green candles back to back since we've dropped in all-time lows. That's one of the problems, right? You obviously are going to keep going lower and lower in all-time lows, having very rarely come into a good day in a row, right? This good day is actually pretty similar to this one, because what we actually do is we do such a good day, we destroy the day before. That's awesome, right? The reason I think this was such a bad day following is we were just a little too close to the 8 moving average, and it just really wasn't ready to break it. Look at today. Today, we actually do a lot better, right? This day obviously closed here, right? But I'm glad we went over the open, and I'm glad we went over the open by like a nice little chunk of candle, almost 25% of it, give or take, right? Maybe even 33%, maybe a third of it, right? On this one, we like barely get over it, right? The other thing I like is there's actually a decent distance between where we're at and the 8 moving average. Look, it's not easy to get over the 8, right? In this whole view, there was only one little insignificant moment when it happens, right? So I'm not going to say it's going to be easy to get over it, but hey, going from 10 to 11 is a real quick 10% flip. It's another one of these days, real quick, right? Hey, that's not bad, okay? If we get over this, that's when things might start to get a little interesting, okay? Because breaking 11, 12 might start getting you to believe you might come to like 13, 14, basically roughly 50% of this guy. If you break this guy, then you might actually come to 15. And again, do I think we'll close here? I don't know, but we might wick it, right? That's actually what happens with TRKA, and I'm going to go over that. Like I said, I'll talk about my trade on that thing. But hey, if we just touch this, that's a 50% jump real quick, right? So, and hey, even if you do it from here, if you do it from like 12 to 15, that's still almost a 30% jump, right? You're adding almost 3 cents on a 10 cent, 12-cent stock, right? So I'm going to set my alert for 12. I would much rather give up this little, I mean, I don't want to call it little, I'm basically giving up 20%, right? I'm letting 10 cents to 12 cents just pass me by. I really don't care about it because really, end of the day, again, I don't like a stock that's under the 8 moving average. That doesn't work for my trading style, right? But crack this, I've got a reason to believe we'll maybe add 20% if we come to 14, maybe close to 30% if we come to 15. I'll bank that for sure, right? And then if this breaks, I think we'd probably run to this 20 all-time low support now resistance line, right? So I don't think we'd go any higher than 20 if there was a silly run tomorrow. Again, that's a 2xer, right? Shit, I almost said 50. This is again, just keep things realistic. I think 14 will be a little hard, this 13, 14 range. Again, I wish I had more decimals. The reason that they only give me 2 decimals is the reason this is simulated buying power. Like, I don't move my money on this thing. I just use the lines here, right? But yeah, what I do care about is breaking the 8, then breaking the 20, okay? I like the volume. I'm glad the buying day was at least over the 50 moving average, and I'm glad that today's buying was actually a little bit more than last time's buying, and almost really that one too, right? I do wish this was a little bit higher volume, right? Because we go from 40 million people selling to 250 million buying. That's not that good, right? So we definitely need a good monster day tomorrow. We need a second green candle. We need 1-2. If we get the 1-2, I'll put a support line right here. And I'll say, hopefully, we're not going to go lower. The reason why I thought the worst was because there's no supports to draw yet. And this one by itself wasn't good enough for me to draw a line here, right? I like, you need another little bit. So, yeah, I think that's enough on MULN. I'm not going to look at the weekly. It's just, we got to take care of the daily. Okay, TRKA. I got real lucky on this. I got lucky because of the timing, really, if you want to know the truth. I set an alert on my last video right here at 22 cents, okay? And look, an alert is not an immediate buy notification. It never is. But the situation was really good enough for me, and I'm gonna walk you through it. What I basically did, and again, I'll walk you through it on a zoomed in view. Once that broke, I got my alert, I jumped in, I rode it all the way to the 50. I unloaded a little more than 50% right here, and then I kept going and I dumped everything around here. I don't when we go to the 15-minute chart, I'll give you a rough idea where, but yeah, most of my sell was 26, I would say. And then, yeah, so maybe a little more than 50% right here, and then whatever. And then the rest was around 29. So we're going to go to the 15-minute chart because obviously I care about the daily, right? That's how I do my videos. If I get an alert, one of the things I'm going to do is kind of start zooming in, right? So the 22-cent line got us over, I'm going to zoom in, it got us over these 2 moving averages, right? So that's what that did on the daily. And then on the 15-minute, it basically put us, somewhere here. It put us just over all the moving averages. Just over it with the 8 kind of starting to go up. And around the time this was going up, Toro was going down. All right, I swear, when I woke up, Toro was up like 6%, and I saw it kind of creeping on the volume list. I really regret not getting out of bed and putting some money in. And again, the timing worked really well because I got my alert as I saw this going down. And honestly, it was enough for me to say, let's do it. So I jump in. We definitely ride all the way up. That ride pretty much gets me to this, and I unloaded. I'll be honest, I actually did not think we were going to get past that. If I did, obviously I would have kept it and sold it all right here, right? But yeah, I really didn't think the 50 was enough. But going from 22 to 26 was badass trade real quick. Like I said, I kept a little bit, and then really what ends up happening is as this goes up, I move my sell limit, my stop loss, right? So my stop loss is moving up as this thing's moving up. By it roughly got to right here. So yeah, around 29 cents and change. Again, I wish I had more decimals, but my stop loss was here. This 15-minute interval took me out, and I was super, super, super happy, okay? What am I looking for on the tomorrow? Because let's be honest, there's a lot of really interesting things happening. We got over all of these little greens, right? Look how much higher we are. We are looking at nothing but red, 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 right? Like there's a lot of reason to believe we're coming up here. For me, nothing matters until we get over this 20 moving average. I'm going to go ahead and sorry to zoom in and out so much. I wanted to see if there was a, shit, my bad, guys. I wanted to see, no, there isn't. Yeah, I'm going to set my alert at 32. I like 32. Let's go a penny higher than the line. If we go over that line, look, there's reason to believe we'll come here to 41. If we go over that line, man, there's reason to believe we'll come to 76, and both would be wild, whichever one happens, right? So definitely an interesting thing that could happen tomorrow. What could happen on the other side, right? Look, we broke 3 moving averages, okay? I actually need this thing to close around 37 cents right here, around 37 cents for me to actually say, I'll confirm it. Otherwise, I can really easily see this coming to 24 cents. Hell, I can see it coming all the way down back to that original 22 that set off our alert, my alert, right? So, yeah, I there's no guarantee we'll get there and go, right? But hey, I like that the volume candle wasn't like something up here or something up here, right? That's not a bad step up, and actually, it's a decent overall, like, it's a realistic slope, right? You can see that. So maybe that means something. Obviously, there was some news about a buyout or something, or I think that was this one. Was that one Toro? I really don't even remember. But either way, whatever. For me, it was more the alert than the news. But let's see what happens tomorrow, right? And again, you have my thoughts on both the up or down. So, hey, I appreciate your time so much. If you disagree, let me know. Otherwise, hey, thank you.